Let's talk about Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. This team had a very interesting season last season. And even though they did go one and done in the playoffs and blow a huge lead against the Jacksonville Jaguars, bright days are ahead for this Los Angeles Chargers team. They're dealing with a bit of cap room situation right now. They're bringing back Keenan Allen, which is a plus, but they're also dealing with a huge elephant in the room. Do they want to bring back their star running back, Austin Eckler, or do they just want to trade him and let him go? Right now, he's trying to seek a trade, get some things going. We'll eye that situation, but I believe he'll come back and play for the Chargers next season. Or they can get a running back in the NFL draft that can give you similar production, even though he's been one of the best red zone running backs in all of football for the last couple of years. This team still deals with a lot of problems. I want to talk about them on the defensive end first. They need to get an interior defensive line presence that can not only go and generate pressure up the middle, desperately, they need a guy that can just stop the run first. They can get guys off the edge such as Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack when healthy. They can get you high sack production. They need to fix this interior of this defensive line. The main thing that they're dealing with right now is they can't stop the run. They have one of the worst run stopping units in all of football. They rank 27th in rushing defense while ranking 7th in passing defense. They dealt with some injuries on the secondary as well. I'm going to touch on in just a second. They need to get guys in there. They can just plug up the middle of the field. Just get some big interior defensive linemen that can help out Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa last season missed majority of the games. Dealt with an injury, but he's still one of the best premier pass rushers in the game. He just has to stay on the field, and hopefully with the changes they made to the training staff, they can get these guys healthy. Khalil Mack was a success last season, 8 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Got to get him to pair up with Joey Bosa, and they could be one of the best pass rushing duos in all of football, and especially in this division as a whole. You look at this team all around defensively, they have talent everywhere. I like Asante Samuel Jr. He's a good corner for this team. Derwin James is a very good safety, one of the best safeties in the league when he is healthy. Can play that interior box role for you, can come off the edge, give you some pressure as well, and just good against stopping the run. The main thing that I'm concerned with in this secondary, J.C. Jackson. He was supposed to be the guy in the secondary. He was supposed to be that number one corner. They got him in free agency last year. Didn't start the season. Dealt with an ankle injury coming out of training camp. And not only just that, he struggled when he was on the field. And he suffered season-ending injury against the Denver Broncos in Monday night game. This kid has to stay healthy and this contract has to hit. They're already dealing with cap room situation. We're trying to extend Justin Herbert, bringing back Keenan Allen, trying to extend other guys in his team. That contract has to work out for this team, because if it doesn't, that's going to be one of the worst contracts in football. They paid him big money to be a superstar corner. He needs to produce, and Brandon Staley has to do whatever in his power to get this kid to produce on the field. I believe he'll have a better season next season. Get him healthy and get him integrated in this system. Speaking of staying healthy, training staff moves have been made. Hopefully it gets this team to just be healthy, offense and on the defensive end. They've been dealing with injuries not just for the past 5-6 years. We're talking about decades of this. Guys haven't been able to stay healthy on the Chargers. Either this team is cursed, or those trainers were just horrible, or these guys that they're drafting, they just can't stay healthy. So hopefully the training staff moves can help, because if this team is healthy, they can win that division that they're in. I understand the Kansas City Chiefs, but every time they play the Kansas City Chiefs, they play the Denver Broncos. They're just a couple plays away from beating those teams and just being consistent. If they just had guys to stay healthy and they can build up nice chemistry, those things could happen. They also made another move this offseason by bringing in brand new offensive coordinator Kellen Moore from the Dallas Cowboys. Amazing move. You're letting Joe Lombardi go. Terrible offensive coordinator for how he used Justin Herbert. I understand the offensive line dealt with injuries. Rashad Slater went out, but they still could not throw the football deep because of the concepts and the plays. The rushing attack was just simple plays up the middle and tosses. That was it. You're bringing in Kellen Moore. Yes, he likes to run a 2-back system. Hopefully you can bring back Austin Eckler next season, or just get a running back in the NFL draft that can help out the rushing department for Justin Herbert, because how amazing Austin Eckler was. This team could not run the football. They were 29th in rushing offense and 3rd in passing offense. Shout out to Justin Herbert for holding his team head above water and keeping these guys in the games when he was dealing with a lot of pressure, a lot of movement inside and outside the pocket, and he was still slinging the ball around and had a terrific season by his standards and what he had to deal with. But bringing in Kellen Moore should help out a lot. You have those 2 good wide receivers in Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. They can stay healthy. Both of those guys can ball out. Keenan Allen's still one of the best route runners. Mike Williams, you throw the ball up there, he going to moss some corners. That's one thing we know for certain. And those are big play wide receivers for you. I expect him to try to get somebody in NFL draft, maybe in rounds 2 or 3, that can take the top off the defense. You have Josh Palmer. He's more of that Keenan Allen type. He busted into the season last season, stepped in extremely well when Mike Williams and Keenan Allen was out for 769 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. They did lose DeAndre Carter. That was their only consistent deep threat. So hopefully they can go into the draft and bring a guy in that can stretch out the field. Another thing offensively, Rashawn Slater proved that he's a superstar tackle. Just got to stay healthy. Corey Lindsey, still a good center. Offensive line still needs a lot of depth movement just in case guys go down. Get that in the NFL draft. No, it's only so many picks you can make in the draft, but this should all be about making Justin Herbert happy and making Justin Herbert get that contract extension as soon as possible. I know a lot of Charger fans are worried about that. They may lose Justin Herbert. I don't see it happening, but it is possible. You have Zion Johnson as well, who is a good rushing guard right now. He will continue to get better. That will help out this offensive line as well. But you have a Ferrari in Justin Herbert. You just need to get the right engine in place. So they have the right pieces. I like Gerald Everett as well. He's a good tight end, 555 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns. They just need to do some more things offensively to help cater towards Justin Herbert's playing style. And I believe that's what Kellen Moore is going to do. But this is the last season for Brandon Staley when we talk about make or break. If this team goes one and done and they blow a lead like how they did against the Jacksonville Jaguars in that playoff game, he can kiss his job goodbye. The last couple of years, it's been excuses. The offensive coordinator was calling the wrong plays. That was an excuse. He didn't have all the right pieces on defense. The guys wasn't able to stay healthy. To me, he's a questionable head coach because of the way that he uses timeouts, the way that he manages the game, and his lack of adjustments after halftime. I understand they went on a win streak last season, and that's all fine and cool. But the Chargers should not be a one-and-done playoff team, regardless of what he has on the field or not. You have one of the best quarterbacks in the league in Justin Herbert. I understand that he's a nice defensive play caller. He's swift. The reason why the Chargers hired him, he was the guy that led that Rams team to have the best defensive unit in football his last year with the Rams. And that's very impressive. But at the same time, he was coaching Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald. Right now, you're coaching an inconsistent team because of the injuries, but you have Khalil Mack now. You have Joey Bosa in that playoff game, and they blew that lead. You have to find a way to win those type of games. It's unexcusable. And this is the last year I can see the Chargers front office going for this. And let's not just act like it was all rosy last season. Halfway point in the season, this team was on the borderline of missing the playoffs until they went on that win streak. It is Justin Herbert or bust when it comes to team success. I understand being 27th in rushing defense because the interior of the defensive line is weak, but you have the game plan around it. I've seen a lot of coaches around the NFL cater to players' strengths and they get the best out of the players around them. It seems like Brandon Staley can only coach superstars, and if it's not guys that fit his system, he just goes away from it and he doesn't want to play them. That can't happen. You have to find a way to win these games. Being 7th in passing defense is incredible, but at the same time, you have guys like Khalil Mack out there, Derwin James, and you have Asante Samuel Jr. So your defense, even without J.C. Jackson, still should be able to keep his head above water. I think that the Chargers as a whole are a good football team. They're just a couple of plays away from beating teams like Kansas City Chiefs. You go back to that Thursday night game, the tight end was gassed. Justin Herbert throws an interception. That was a game-changing play. Plays like that can't happen to the Chargers anymore. They need to make every play matter, and they have to go for it and be aggressive. Brandon Staley's been too conservative, punting the ball on 4th and 2, punting the ball on 4th and 1 when your offense is red hot. He's believing too much in his defense. And at certain points in times, the defense can carry it away. For the simple fact that the rushing defense is so bad that teams would use time possession against you anyway, and it would force Justin Herbert just throw the ball down the field and just put him in bad situations to where those interceptions happen. So not all of his turnovers are his fault. I'm just saying this. They have the right quarterback in place in Justin Herbert. You have the right talent. If only these guys can stay healthy. The biggest thing now with this team, you're bringing in a new offensive coordinator. We will see how Kellen Moore looks without the Dallas Cowboys star on his uniform. I think that he will look fine. But if this team doesn't make the playoffs, or they go one and done, or lose in embarrassing fashion again, Brandon Staley has to go. But let me know in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Los Angeles Chargers? Can this team finally make a deep playoff run? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, we want each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.